Welcome to SurrealDB 2.0, where innovation meets performance. We're thrilled to introduce the groundbreaking enhancements that will redefine your database experience. I'd like to start by talking about stability and performance. In this release, we've made significant upgrades to our core technology, ensuring that SurrealDB handles even the most complex tasks with ease and efficiency. You'll notice the difference in how quickly and smoothly your queries run. We've expanded the capabilities of SurrealQL, making it more powerful and versatile than ever. And that's not all. SurrealDB now supports additional ways to interact with your data, offering you even greater flexibility. Security has also been a major focus in this release. We've introduced new features that make it easier than ever to keep your data secure. Whether you're dealing with authentication, permissions, or data integrity, we've got you covered. Indexing has seen some exciting improvements too. We've implemented new techniques and optimizations that will keep your database running at peak performance, no matter the size or complexity of your data. I can't wait to show you how these changes can benefit you in your projects. We're also introducing a brand new storage engine, SurrealKV, built entirely in Rust. This new feature brings some incredible capabilities that will change the way you interact with your data. Curious? You should be. For developers working with artificial intelligence and machine learning, we've integrated some powerful upgrades into your SurrealML experience. Now being able to run machine learning models in SurrealDB is even more effortless, with enhanced support for environments and GPU engines. Imagine being able to streamline your workflows and enhance your applications without ever leaving SurrealDB. The possibilities are now endless. Finally, we've made some major improvements across all of our SDKs. Whether you're working in JavaScript, Python, C, or another language, you'll find that developing with SurrealDB is now faster, easier, and more efficient. These are just some of the highlights of what's new in SurrealDB 2.0. I can't wait for you to dive deeper and discover everything SurrealDB has to offer. Your journey with SurrealDB 2.0 starts today. With the release of SurrealDB 2.0, we're excited to introduce a brand new parser for SurrealQL. This upgrade brings significant enhancements, including improved memory handling, better support for recursive queries, and a more robust transaction layer with advanced caching. Let's dive into these changes and explore why they matter. The heart of the 2.0 release is the introduction of a new parser for SurrealQL. This parser has been built from the ground up to be faster and more resilient than its predecessor. It addresses many of the shortcomings of the previous version, offering better error reporting and reducing the risk of stack overflows, particularly in complex queries. Unlike the version 1 parser, which was based on the NOM parser combinator library, the new parser is a traditional recursive descent parser with a separate lexing step. This change allows for more efficient parsing by separating the tokenization of the input from the parsing logic itself. By doing so, we can skip over irrelevant whitespace and comments early on, streamlining the parsing process. Moreover, the new parser leverages advanced techniques to handle deep recursion without being constrained by system stack limits like the previous parser. This improvement is crucial for developers working with complex or deeply nested queries, ensuring that performance remains consistent even as query complexity increases. One of the significant enhancements in the 2.0 release is the new and improved memory handling within the parser. The former parser struggled with memory management, particularly when handling large or complex queries, which could lead to performance degradation or even crashes. The new parser addresses this issue head-on, implementing more efficient memory management techniques. This minimizes memory use during parsing operations by properly allocating memory, which ensures that operations are run in the most efficient way, avoiding reruns of previously allocated operations without compromising performance or stability. Additionally, the new parser includes mechanisms to optimize memory usage, which is especially important in environments where SurrealDB is expected to run continuously and handle a large volume of queries. Recursive queries are a powerful feature in SurrealQL, enabling developers to perform complex data retrieval operations that reference the results of previous queries. However, supporting these types of queries efficiently can be challenging. The same technique we implemented in the parser to handle deeply recursive queries are now implemented in the executor, resulting in even more improvements for running complex queries, as the executor is now unconstrained by the previous system stack limits. By optimizing the way recursive calls are managed in memory, these new improvements ensure that even the most complex recursive queries can be executed efficiently and without errors. This enhancement opens up new possibilities for developers to build more sophisticated and powerful applications using SurrealDB. In addition to the parsing improvements, the 2.0 release also brings significant enhancements to SurrealDB's transaction layer and caching mechanisms. The transaction layer has been overhauled to provide better consistency and reliability, particularly in distributed environments. Transactions are now handled more efficiently, reducing the overhead associated with committing and rolling back changes. This improvement is especially beneficial for applications that require high throughput and low latency transactions. Furthermore, the new caching mechanisms introduced in this release significantly improve the performance of SurrealDB by reducing the need to refetch data from the underlying storage engine. The caching layer stores the results of frequently executed requests, allowing subsequent processes to be served from the caching layer itself. This improvement in the core engine will help to speed up queries which select from and modify the database, in addition to recursive queries, leading to better overall performance. The 2.0 release of SurrealDB with its new SurrealQL parser represents a significant step forward in the evolution of our database technology. The improvements in memory handling, support for recursive queries, and the upgraded transaction layer and caching mechanisms all contribute to a more robust, efficient, and developer-friendly experience. As you begin to explore the capabilities of SurrealDB 2.0, you'll find that these enhancements open up new possibilities for building complex, high-performance applications with ease. We can't wait to see what you'll create with these powerful new tools at your disposal.
SurrealQL is our powerful query language, beloved by developers for its ease of use and functional approach to querying SurrealDB. With SurrealQL, you can harness all the multi-model capabilities of SurrealDB, including querying graph edges, creating both schema-full and schema-less definitions, performing vector embeddings with vector search, and executing full-text search. But we're not stopping there. Because SurrealQL is at the core of our product, we've introduced even more new features to elevate the developer experience even further. In SurrealDB 2.0, we have added some powerful new statements to SurrealQL. The upsert statement allows you to create or update records seamlessly. The alter statement can be used to modify existing defined resources without the risk of accidental deletion. The rebuild statement is used to rebuild indexes to maintain optimal performance. And define access enhances security by defining how non-admin users can be authenticated and granted access. First, Let's look at the upsert statement. This gives you the flexibility to either update existing records or create new ones if they do not already exist. In 2.0, upsert can both update and create, while update is now strictly used for updating records. Upsert replaces the old behavior of updates, with updates now reserved solely for updating. The alter statement now allows you to modify existing defined resources, such as table properties, indexes, access methods, and search analyzers, without redefining or risking accidental changes. SurrealDB is built to handle applications of any size, with a focus on fast query performance and enhanced data analysis. To maintain this efficiency, we've introduced a rebuild statement. This feature is particularly important when using SurrealDB's secondary indexes, which support both traditional indexing for full-text searches and advanced vector embedding searches for AI applications. Over time, the performance of M3 and HNSW indexes can degrade. Periodically rebuilding these indexes with the rebuild statement ensures they remain fully optimized, keeping your queries running smoothly. Lastly, let's look at the define access statement, which enhances security by allowing you to manage how non-admin users are authenticated and granted access, utilizing existing OAuth practices. This statement consolidates and replaces the 1.0 define scope and define token statements, providing a more streamlined approach to managing access. We've also made some significant changes to existing statements in SurrealQL, where update could previously be utilized to create records. It now only updates, ensuring more predictable and secure operations. The define statement now ships with two new classes for better control: if not exists and override. With if not exists, you can check if a resource already exists to avoid redefining it. With override, you can create a resource or override an existing one. Define table now supports type normal and type relation to better reflect table relationships in a schema-full approach. These changes give you more control and flexibility in building robust database schemas while remaining compatible with existing setups. We've made some important improvements to schema management for both define field and schema-full tables. With define field ID, we've enforced strict ID structures in your tables, boosting data integrity. And schema-full tables now alert with an error message on any non-defined fields instead of silently ignoring them. This way, your data structure always stays correct. Finally, we've added several new features that improve SurrealQL's behavior and usability. Expression destructuring provides the ability to break down complex object-like values into smaller subsections. Method chaining creates more readable and concise queries by allowing you to invoke database functions directly on values and to chain them. Closures can be utilized to extract your reusable logic into anonymous functions, making them available to be referenced anywhere in the script. And branches are now a standalone value as opposed to being part of record IDs. This allows you to validate if a value is within a range and to iterate over them. Lastly, literal types allow you to type strings, numbers, durations, arrays, and objects in a more expressive and easier way. In addition to all the new SurrealQL improvements, we're thrilled to share an exciting new feature that will enhance your data management experience with SurrealDB. We know how crucial versatility is in the world of data, which is why we're excited to announce that you can now query SurrealDB using GraphQL. At SurrealDB, we aim to continuously improve your developer experience to ensure you can manage and query data in the way that works for you, whether via SurrealQL, our own powerful query language, or GraphQL. But that's not all. To make this experience seamless, we're introducing a GraphQL integration to SurrealList. Our intuitive user interface specifically designed for SurrealDB. With SurrealList, you can easily connect to any SurrealDB instance, execute queries in real time, explore your tables, and design your schemas all in one place. Why GraphQL? Well, GraphQL allows you to define and retrieve only the data that you need, giving more control and efficiency in how you interact with your database. And now, with SurrealList, you have a beautiful user-friendly interface that makes querying with GraphQL not just possible, but a delight. When executing GraphQL queries against the database, SurrealDB leverages its powerful schema system and generates a highly flexible GraphQL schema. Thanks to the new GraphQL view located within SurrealList, you can now effortlessly write and test your GraphQL queries. Whether you're building complex applications, designing robust schemas, or simply exploring your data, combining SurrealDB with GraphQL and SurrealList gives you the time to focus on what matters. These improvements make SurrealDB even more powerful and flexible, letting you build more sophisticated applications with ease.
We know that index performance and functionality is important, which is why we're excited to announce that SurrealDB 2.0 comes with many significant improvements to indexing. You'll notice performance enhancements thanks to updates in hashing mechanisms and improved write efficiency for B-tree and M-tree-based indexes. Another improvement comes in the form of the new alter statement, which includes the rebuild option, allowing you to optimize indexes that have degraded from frequent updates. A crucial update in version 2.0 is that the HNSW algorithm, previously available only in memory, is now also stored on disk and persists across restarts. You can access it via the define index statement, ensuring fast queries with durability. So what exactly does this feature do? Well, the HNSW algorithm vastly speeds up k-nearest neighbors searches used in AI applications, which, thanks to its own dedicated syntax, can be added to a SurrealQL query with just a few keystrokes. What makes the new HNSW so exciting is its graph-based approach, utilizing approximate nearest neighbor search, otherwise known as ANN. Unlike other algorithms that focus on finding the exact nearest match, ANN prioritizes a close enough result, significantly speeding up the search process. This efficiency allows the algorithms to handle very large data sets with exceptional performance. And finally, we are pleased to introduce asynchronous indexing in 2.0. In the past, I'm sure you've defined an index on a data-heavy field and found that you had to wait for it to build before you can continue. Well, with asynchronous indexing, SurrealDB handles index building in the background, letting you focus on other important tasks. To enable it, add the concurrently keyword to your usual define index statement. It's that simple. Enhancing indexing functionality and performance is an ongoing priority for us, and we expect you to see significant performance improvements and greater accuracy as you migrate your data from SurrealDB 1.0 to 2.0.
One of the largest structural changes to SurrealDB in version 2.0 is security, which has been overhauled in a number of areas, and much of this is thanks to your input. The key change to security comes in the form of our new define access statement, which replaces the previous define scope statement. Define access is used to create record users that are stored as records in the database instead of defined as system users. This feature contributes to making SurrealDB an all-in-one backend as a service. Define user and define access statements now contain a maximum duration for both tokens and the session itself. This means tokens are valid only as long as needed to establish a secure WebSocket session. The define access statement also contains a new authenticate clause that lets you further customize sign up, sign in, and token verification behavior, offering enhanced performance. The authenticate clause executes only once during authentication, compared to the permissions clause, which executes on each query and for each record. You can also define access with JWT to work with third-party authentication providers like OpenID Connect and OAuth. For record users, the with issuer clause lets you customize how SurrealDB issues tokens, allowing other services to take advantage of the authentication provided in SurrealDB. We've put together a reference guide on security so that you can easily source information on the features that apply to you. But let's just take a look at some of those features right now. SurrealDB now enables authentication by default. We always recommend that you start your database instances securely. However, if you don't wish to do this, you are able to opt out using an unauthenticated flag. In SurrealDB, you can allow and disallow functions when starting a new database instance. Additionally, you can enable HTTP GET requests from the database, but keep it limited to a small scope. The allow net flag followed by a specific address lets you do this. We've also introduced new database functions in SurrealDB 2.0, such as string, HTML, and code, to prevent HTML injection by taking this and turning it into this. As a security best practice, you should always ensure that JSON web tokens are verified with an asymmetric algorithm like RS-256, as opposed to a symmetric one like HS-512. These are just a few of the security features in SurrealDB 2.0. If you'd like to find out more about our security best practices, you can do so by visiting our reference guide.
One of the key features of SurrealDB is the separation of the compute layer and the storage layer. This allows you to manage queries and database logic independently from the storage layer and select your storage layer without needing to consider the impact on your queries and database logic. Until now, SurrealDB's main storage engine has been RocksDB, along with the option of IndexedDB for web browsers and TiKV and FoundationDB for distributed clusters. We're excited to announce that in SurrealDB 2.0, we are now debuting our own native key value storage engine, SurrealKV. Built entirely in Rust, like the rest of SurrealDB, SurrealKV is an embedded ACID-compliant key value storage engine with built-in versioning that allows for historical and temporal querying. SurrealKV enables immutable data querying, data change auditing, historic aggregate query analysis, and version queries across the graph. Currently, versioning is only possible when running on SurrealKV, and you can access this using the version keyword and a datetime. Here's an example to demonstrate how simple it is to view a snapshot of a table's records at any point in time. First, let's create the initial version of a record. Let's say the current time is 11:30 a.m. on the 12th of August 2024. Now, let's update the record. As expected, normal select without the version returns the latest update. To get the initial record, use the version clause with the timestamp. This groundbreaking query functionality, when combined with the advanced multimodal capabilities in SurrealDB, allows you to query data with an additional dimension without sacrificing on performance or forcing you to change your query in any way. By enabling this functionality across records, record links, and graph edges, now you have the ability to time travel across highly connected graph data. Now that SurrealKV is a built-in option to SurrealDB, you can try it out too. To start a database instance with SurrealKV in SurrealDB 2.0, just add the SurrealKV prefix and a file name to the Surreal start command.
SurrealML is our powerful processing engine, designed to empower you to store and execute trained ML models directly within the database, right next to your data. With this release, we've improved the core engine with support for more environments and GPU runtimes. With SurrealML, you can now seamlessly integrate machine learning into your workflows without changing your existing tech stack, enabling you to store, load, and execute models right next to the data, streamlining your process and saving you valuable time. The first step is to train your ML model locally and upload it to the database. Once this is done, SurrealML enhances your queries by using the model to compute calculations for columns as you write rows to the table directly within the query itself. You can also perform complex queries that compute columns based on calculations from the ML model and then use these values to filter, group, or order your data. Another powerful feature in SurrealML is the ability to reference model versions. With this, you can compute multiple model versions in a single query, simplifying reporting when you need to compare results between one model version and another. You also have the ability to summarize statistics on these results with a single SQL query, keeping your insights up to date. SurrealML specializes in seamlessly running your pre-trained models directly within your database, ensuring accurate and efficient data processing right where your data is stored. This allows data scientists and engineers to focus on the intricate tasks of model training, quality control, and the application of advanced techniques, while SurrealML handles the deployment for optimal performance and streamlined reporting.
We're thrilled to announce a series of major improvements across all our SDKs, bringing you enhanced performance, greater flexibility, and more robust support for your development needs, now all in 1.0 stable. First, let's talk about our enhanced support for native data types. Across our JavaScript, C, Go, and Python SDKs, we've implemented powerful new handling for strings, numbers, floats, and booleans. JavaScript, .NET, and PHP now leverage our brand new CBOR protocol, while C, Go, and Python are now built on top of the Rust SDK for even more efficient and accurate data processing. And with custom data types like UUID, Record ID, and Geometry now supported, you can expect more versatile and efficient data handling no matter which language you're working with. We're also committed to making our JavaScript SDK as type-safe and secure as possible. That's why we've ensured out-of-the-box support for TypeScript. You can now enjoy seamless integrations with your favorite frameworks like React, Solid.js, and Vue, making your development process smoother and more efficient. PHP developers will be pleased to know that the same enhanced data handling is now at your fingertips, ensuring that your web applications benefit from the same cutting-edge technology. But we didn't stop there. Our Node.js and WebAssembly engines are now fully integrated with the SurrealDB JavaScript SDK, offering incredible new possibilities for your projects. With the Node.js engine, you can run SurrealDB as an embedded database within a server-side environment, backed by either an in-memory engine or SurrealKV, while the WebAssembly engine lets you run it as a non-embedded database within a browser environment backed by the same in-memory engine or indexed DB, perfect for client-side applications. And it's not just JavaScript. Our C and Python SDKs are also embeddable, giving you the same flexibility to seamlessly integrate SurrealDB as an embedded database within your server-side applications across these languages. This ensures that SurrealDB fits perfectly into any setup, whether you're working in JavaScript, C, or Python. And here's the best part. We've slashed the bundle sizes across all our SDKs, with the JavaScript SDK now reduced to a quarter of the size. This means faster load times and a more efficient app experience, letting you deliver better performance to your users. We're always working hard to bring you the best tools for your projects. So stay tuned as we continue to innovate and improve across all our SDKs.